Testing 1, 2, 3. Hello, Marnie Star, always with us. Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. So in this live stream, we're going to be working on the Freehang system. That is, be able to make the character to navigate in the ledges while doing the Freehang. Let me just put this a little bit. So the Freehang means that the character's legs are going to be free. So it's not going to be touching like it is right on these walls right here. So on those ones, the legs are touching the wall, but in this one, in this situation here, the legs shouldn't be moving that thing like that. So in this tutorial, we're going to be working on placing those animations in there. Now I'm going to, if you don't have the spec in here, it's called, what is the spec? Let me see. Oh yeah, I don't have the pack that he... Yeah, I don't have the pack that he sent to me. That's the problem. I don't have this pack. Yeah, I don't have the Freehang system. Freehang animation pack, I don't have it. Morningstar, did you buy the Freehang animations pack? Let me know. So as of now, I don't have the Freehang animation pack, so that I cannot work without the animations. So I'm going to do something else. Maybe improve the overall system, the smoothness. Yeah, I was going to see the result of the system first. Yeah, the result actually is going to be a lot better than this one, because I'm not sure, but I think the freehang animations are more, they look better somehow, like especially the navigation part. The character moves a lot more smoother than without the freehang animations, with the normal locomotion as this one. If you have time to to do some extra, could you try showing a drop down from box system? Let me see if I have that animation there. What is the name of the animation? Is it, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we can try to do that one. Let me just check how the animation is. Okay, I already have the montage in here, so I'm just going to select the slot name, change the slot name, and I'm going to just, yeah, let's do that right now. So to do the drop down from box system, let me just clarify what that is. So what we want to do in here is just, if you press a key, let's say F, I'm not going to be, oh my god, I cannot speak. I'm not going to be reusing the F key, because, yeah, I'm not sure if I can use the F key, because the F key, it already uses the certain calculations that I need for blah 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 doing XYZ. So I'm not sure if I should use F for this one. Yeah, let's do F. So let's use the F key to detect. So what's going to happen is that as soon as you press F in here, the character is going to just drop himself to be on the ledge state, playing in this animation in here. As you can notice, this animation, it has, okay, so this is a 180 movement, and the character needs to face forward, facing the ledge. So you need to get the reference of where the character is. So if the character is standing this way, facing this way, so if the character is standing here and facing this way, he's going to perform this animation if the player presses the F key. So the first things first, you need to make sure that the trace can detect the ledge stripe, right? So let's do that right now. So let's go to the sandbox character. Let's search for the F key. So here the hang trace attach. So here on end, I think we can change it to be -30 or 20. Should be enough. There you go. So if you press F from here, you can detect the ledge. And that works, but we want to play the animation as well. So let's just try to play the animation right away to see what's gonna happen. As you can see right here, we play the latch catch animation. If the character goes from this condition here, while just dropping and then attaching it while mid-air. But if the character is standing right here, it's not going to play that same animation as if he was catching the ledge on the air. So we need to separate this a little bit. We're gonna have to separate the structure in here. So let's say if the character is, so check if character is mid-air maybe. Yeah. So let's say get character movement first, because it can pretty much tells if the character is on the air, or is standing, or he's crouching. So it pretty much tells you everything. So I'm gonna get the information if the character is in the air. Character is it in the character movement? I'm not sure. Character, or is flying, or is moving on the ground also works, but not this one. I think it's moving on the ground. This one. The target is blue, and this one is for the navigation movement interface. I'm not sure what that is, but that doesn't work. So I compile. So if the character is moving on the ground, we want to play that 180 animation that we've selected there, which is this one right here. So I want to play this animation. But yeah, of course, we're going to have to set up other conditions, because only if the character is not, it's not only because if the character is moving on the ground, we should play the 180. We should make other calculations to decide where the character should go. So let me just go up here and then try to press T or F again. That didn't work out. Let me see why. So it's flying. No, it's falling. I forgot. So if the character is falling, we should play the catch animation. If the character is not falling, the character is standing on the ground, then we should play this animation. Let's try that out. No, wait. So if the character is falling, yeah, that's a little bit weird. I'm not sure why it's not working. Maybe because of gasp. So sometimes it might glitch. Maybe get the stance. Get the stance, but the stance doesn't work. So we're gonna have to get the NM instance and then cast to ABP sandbox character, and then get the stance, and then if it's equal to stand or flying. But I think that, yeah, that's not the best way to do it. Yeah, let me think a little bit. Because let's say, for example, the ledge is right over here. So if the ledge stripe is right over here, the character can just jump, and then his height would be somewhere around here. And then if he jumps, his state is the character is falling. The character is currently falling. So he should play the catch animation. If he's not falling, that means he's on top of something else. So the fall the character state where it tells if the character is falling or not is very important to know. I'm not sure why it's not working. Let me just get this. Let me get this on the event tick print string. Let me get the information the character is falling. So character movement get not get is falling, and then try to print the string. Let's see what happens. So false, true, false, true. Yeah, it's working. I'm not sure why it wasn't working before. Let me try it out again. That's weird. Maybe this should be set before or after the execution. Let me just get this straight. So maybe right here, right over here before the maybe before here. So let's just promote this to a variable. So let's say was character, whoops, was character on falling, for example. There you go. Now we can use that information to to be placed in here. So if the character is falling, we should play only the catch animation, which is this one. And then we should play this one and then continue the execution here. There we go. Test it out. Yeah, I guess that's it. Because if you, yeah, that was right. Because as you can see, I set the character movement to flying here. So if I check if the character is falling, it's going to be true. It's going to be always true because I've set it before here. So you need to save, really store what was the initial state of the character, if the character was falling or not, before we actually check for if the character is going to be falling after we set the character movement mode, before attaching to the ledge stripe. So as you can see right here, it's a mess because in the code, it was like if the character was just to be attaching on the ledge for the first time, and it's not the case right now. Now the case is just standing on the ledge. The condition now is of the character standing on the ledge and then doing a 180 to attach. So it's a little bit different. But I believe we just got to change the timelines in here. Just to... So you can skip all that. And then We're gonna have, yeah, I think we're gonna have to do a separate timeline to do this, maybe. Maybe. So as you can see, the character instantly gets set to be in a different direction. As you can see, it rotates. And that's because of this rotation fix that I found for fixing bugs. We're going to have to treat this differently. Let me just get this right here. So if the character was falling, we should put this like this and maybe not execute anything. Like so. As you can see. Maybe just skip this. And we should also execute a different timeline just for the correction in there. Bro, you are amazing. Yeah, I know. Just kidding. All right. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is just copy paste everything. I'm gonna delete those custom events in here. Yeah, we can basically choose a sequence and then execute those timelines. It's going to be a little bit messy, but this is just a prototype. So as you can see, the character directly gets set to that location because we are basically executing the correction right away. So this part here is just basically the correction. We run timelines to correct the position of the character and the rotation as well. So we need to be careful when setting this so we just need to get the right values to be set in there, and when we should execute and how we should execute things is really important. I'm gonna choose a timeline to be, let me see, 4:45 maybe. 45 works. So 45 milliseconds it's going to take for getting to be 1. So zeroed out. And the next timeline is going to be also the same, just to match. So 45 milliseconds for each one. I think it works. Nothing else, nothing more than that. And that's pretty much all you gotta do. Now we just need to know when exactly we should execute the correction, because without the correction, the character doesn't correct itself. It's going to be hanging in the air like it's floating, and it's not going to be very good. So we just need to know when exactly the character should be corrected at. So as you can see from this take, maybe from this time, like 35 milliseconds. So as you can see here, the milliseconds and the animation frame. So in the animation frame of 35 milliseconds, the character is on this pose right here. And I think the correction should be set to be on this phase, on this one right here. And the all notify begin should be placed in here. Yeah, that looks very messy, but it's just a prototype. The character is snapping right now, as you can see when I press play, because it's snapping. And the reason why is because we're saving the value, the location value, but this location value here of the current character's rotation is not going to be the same if we put a delay in here. So if you execute a delay, the past is going to be executed. So we're going to use the past, and that's not going to look good. So we're going to have to calculate set up a delay in here. Just copy paste this, and then I'm not gonna need this for now, but I'm gonna have to set up a delay in here first. If there is no, if the character, yeah, this is over here. Should be over here. So if the character was not falling, we're going to execute a delay. And then after that delay is executed, we're going to save the location of the character, rotation. No, actually it's just the location. Let me see if you also saved the... Yeah, I think we should also set this one to be in there. Like this. There we go. No, I think actually this comes before. Hello, sorry, I haven't been in the lives, but in your Discord you said you were going to show me something about a different offset refinement. I don't remember. Can you tell me what I said? I don't remember. When I was watching your live before, I think you were using T to climb something. Is it possible for everything in this to be made with only spacebar? Yes, it is, but right now we're not doing spacebar. But in the future, we're going to be using spacebar for navigating on the ledge. But right now, the reason why we're not doing this yet is because I want to make the system as much responsive as possible. So that I think it depends a lot on the needs of your project, because some people might like to navigate the character in the ledges using just the analog stick, for example, using only the WASD keys. And some people are going to prefer the spacebar. So maybe I should make a boolean to set that to be true or off, so that if you I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future, because there's a lot of possibilities. There's a lot of things you could do. I'm not sure what most people want. But the good idea about the system where you press the space bar to jump into ledges is going to be better because if you aim, for example, do this, you can just, like, instead of just going right into it, you can just make the character to play the aiming pose instead. So as soon as we press spacebar, the character is only going to navigate if he presses the spacebar. That's it. And then if he's not pressing the spacebar but he's aiming, then he's going to play the aim animation. I think that's going to be good. Is it easier to be made with advanced input methods? Yes, you can. The system as it is now is pretty much complete for working with the controller analog stick, for example. So you can either use the analog stick or the WASD keys to move the character. Did you take a look at the Hitman climb system? Yeah, it's very good. It's very good. It's very impressive. Yeah, I'm not sure why the character is teleporting here. When you do the rotation with the timelines, I'm not sure why he does this. Oh, okay, I remembered something. So as you can see, now it worked. It worked very good. I'm not sure why the hand snapped at the end, but that's a minor issue, I think. But I believe it's because of the event. In the event graph, you have the update rotation pre-CMC. And if this rotation rate is set to be negative 1, the rotation rate of the character snaps if you were to do something. So that's why we use the rotation modifier. So if this is true, it forces the rotation rate to be 300. So what we're gonna do is just get the variable called rotation modifier. So if you use the rotation modifier, this setting here, I think that's gonna work now. Okay, so it's not because of the rotation rate. Then It's probably because of the timeline, but I'm not sure what it is. It's difficult. Let's get the actor rotation, and then let's save that, and then let's say current character rotation, and then let's sum that up with what you get in this variable. And then we're going to get the split structure combine with this. There you go. Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah, maybe because I was switching. Instead of getting the actor rotation to be on A, I was placing it to be on B. So the Lerp Rotator would be basically lerping between A and B, but the current actor rotation wasn't starting from B, was starting from A. So that's why we would have those issues there. So maybe just by replacing this would work. There we go. Now it's smoother. Now let me just get the timeline to be a little bit smoother now. So it's very much linear. I'm gonna select all the keys and then go to auto. There we go. So as smooth as possible. Maybe we can also do something like this. No. All right. Play again. There you go. It's very smooth. It's very smooth, yes. Now maybe it could be done a little bit like this. Here. There we go. Okay. There we go. Now we just need to adjust the forward offset for this. All right, so here we calculate the target location. We just need to know when the character was falling, if the character was falling before or not. So here we get the actor forward vector. We calculate using the forward offset. But in this case, we're gonna have to see if the character is falling before. If the character is falling, we should add here. Actually, we're going to select, I'll get the select float. Yeah. Yes. Select float. If the character is falling, then good. If the character is not falling, we're going to add a little bit of offsetting here. Maybe this number could be negative or positive. We're gonna have to test it out. But yeah, there we go. Compile save. And then we're going to add a little bit of forward offsetting here. Not sure if this is working or not. Let me just see. Yeah, it is. So maybe 233. This actually changes the right offset. That's very interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Forward. If I change the forward, the character goes to the right. And if I'm adding a positive value and the character is going right, then we should change the actor right vector. So get actor right vector. And then pretty much do the same here. Get forward vector, multiply it. We're going to add it up in here. And then float, we're going to get the distance. Here. So here you can add the the offset for the right. So maybe if the character is falling, if the character is not falling, it's going to go to B. So like we can place it to be 200 here. Yeah, there you go. But now we're gonna have to place something like 40. There we go. That's one way to fix it. I think there's another way to fix that, because as we're always currently getting the actual rotation of the character is always going to be rotating at different directions. So maybe the proper way of doing this would be by getting the current character rotation. This is a saved and stored rotation of what was the character rotation at the moment of the transition, before the transition. So we store and save the character's current rotation. We don't really keep calculating it, keep asking for what's the current rotation of the character in the timeline. So I think that's a better way of doing it. Just basically save it. And then use it. I think it's safer to do this. Yeah, I think that works. Let me just get the value here. So the offset for when the character is going to be falling is going to be maybe negative 55. 55 would work maybe. No, maybe 45. Almost there, maybe 40. I think it's the same value in here. 40. No, 40. 42.5. There we go. 32.5 worked. Yeah, but sometimes the character goes like that. And sometimes the character have very weird offsets, as you can see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to fix that one as well. Okay, I think maybe I found. Yeah, I think it doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense. I'm not sure why the character is napping on. Actually, the character is doing everything smoothly, but sometimes the character have different offsets depending on which angle you approach it. So, for example, when you're aiming this way and press F, as you can see, the character attaches to the ledge, but he goes too much to the right and too much in the box. When you go this way, it goes like that. So I'm not sure what's happening. Now it could also be the rotation. Yeah, as you can see, I'm not sure how to fix this one yet. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let this one to be done tomorrow because I'm not sure what's happening here. Why the character is not properly attaching on the light. Sometimes we get different values. I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe we can tweak these values to see which one works the best. Because all we want to do is just get the character to be set on that location. So we have the SetActor rotation and location. But if we would set those values directly by snapping the character, maybe we can see something happening here. As the root motion is not turned on, we can see what's happening just to figure out what's happening. So here we can just place those target values directly in here. So maybe we could see something different. So location there, rotation, rotation. Rotation Z. There we go. Play. Play, play, play. Wow. Yeah, let's just instead of using timelines just to get either the rotation and location, we can do the transform directly. So we can set the actor transform. So we're going to get the target location and rotation where the character needs to be at. So make transform and then split this Z, connect there. So get actor transform and place this in there. There we go. Let's adjust the offsets. What? Oh yeah, because we're doing ABS in here. Absolute value. I'm going to sleep soon. How long do you have left of the live stream? I'm going to end the live stream in like 5 minutes. I'm just gonna do something real quick in here, just a test, to see if this is going to work out. Regardless, I'm gonna have to end the stream in 5 minutes so far, more or less. I mean, so let's see. ABS. There we go. Some result in here. Let's try 80. Okay. There you go. That's what I want. Oops. There you go. There you go. There you go. Okay, so what was the issue? I don't know. yeah, we're gonna look at this mess. We're gonna be continuing in the next live stream. Thank you guys for watching. But I think we got to fix the issue so far. And then tomorrow I'm gonna be live streaming again. So that we can finish this issue here. And for the Freehang system, I'm going to be fixing this issue. I'm going to be actually implementing the Freehang system in maybe like in 3 days or 4 days, because it takes a while for Epic Games to release it for me. So yeah, so that's going to be it. We're going to be continuing this drop from box to ledge hang system. Yeah, we're going to be fixing it in the next live stream. So thank you guys for watching, and I see you in the next one. So right now it's a mess, but it's going to be better in the future. I still have to separate the systems, because we use the F to hang on the ledge, and we use the same key to make that drop from box action as well. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you